Art and faith have had a unique relationship since the cavemen first picked up coloured dirt and coloured rocks and used them to daub pictures on the walls of their caves in a ritualistic way. The thing about art is it allows our emotions to be revealed. It makes visible the invisible. It allows the inner to become outer. This film is an attempt to reveal that relationship and to celebrate it, and also to encourage people to actually use the arts in their mission, in their worship, in their life as a faith community. We also want to try and show to those in the art world that faith communities have something exciting to offer, something which is unique and something which is to be celebrated. In the Christian West, art has always been an integral part of faith spaces. Art and music have also shaped the cultures and traditions of this country. Increasingly, as we will see in this film though, more traditional forms are brought up to date with more modern idioms. And so now we find modern worship bands alongside organs, and abstract patterns in stained glass alongside the traditional images of Christ and the saints. The coming together of traditional forms with more modern forms that we now find in Christian churches and Christian worship has brought new audiences to rediscover the value and the exciting possibilities that the arts can bring to Christianity. In the Sri Temple in Leicester, art and faith come together in a really exciting and dynamic way. It's there in the music that they use and in the works of art which decorate their temple. It's part of their worship. It also helps define them as a community.
People will come to the center for many reasons. It could be for educational purposes, it could be for social reasons, welfare and health matters, and also to ask for some advice. So it's a hub of everything, not just for spiritual or religious requirements, but for social and cultural needs as well. Part and parcel of Hindu faith activities in the temple is to introduce and bring people with musical talents, and every day there will be singing sessions. At the same time, young people, children also are trained into playing musical instruments, and when we give them that platform, they go from strength to strength. The relationship between art and faith is very strong. When you enter a place of worship and it is full of artistic material, you will say, wow, that is great, and that is what sticks to your mind. I believe that art and faith is a very strong aspect of one's spiritual needs.
Both the faith and art communities see working with young people as vitally important. For the arts, it allows them to be creative and to discover who they are through creativity. For the faith communities, it's about learning what their values and where their values come from, and what makes them tick, and why they do things. In the Sikh Youth and Community Centre in Nottingham, young people discover their faith traditions through music, in this case through drumming.
The centre is called Sikh Community and Youth Services, and basically it's a place which brings all the Sikh youth in Nottingham together and educates them on the religion, the Sikh religion, and also on Punjabi culture. This is somewhere where they can come and learn and feel a part of the community. The drum that we're playing is called a dhol drum, and it's a Punjabi drum used traditionally in most forms of Punjabi music. And basically we've got a team of about 12 of us, and we were rehearsing for a performance at the Royal Concert Hall in Nottingham for the Diwali Garden.
Traditions are really important in faith communities. They provide the bridge which links past to present to future. As we've seen in the Sri Temple and the Youth and Community Centre in Nottingham, tradition allows the young people to discover their faith, to learn who they are, where they've come from, but also to make it relevant to themselves. Because the thing about tradition is it's always changing. Those changes can sometimes be really subtle. We're not aware of them until somebody from outside who stands on the edge of the tradition comes along and allows us to see them, to reflect on them. John Newling is an artist who allows us to look at these traditions, to reflect on them, to learn about them, to explore them. He stands on the edge of faith and looks in.
I think when one enters a faith space, if one enters a church, cathedral, mosque, one's crossing the threshold. And the threshold is not just a physical threshold. I mean, everybody experiences this. I did as a child. I have a completely non-religious background, and I don't consider myself religious, but I'm interested in faith. As a child, we would go into church. There was always a very different feeling of entering that space, a kind of slightly worrying feeling, slightly perplexed, certainly disorientated. I think that still exists, and I think artists would do well to be looking more at what that threshold disorientation space is.
For a lot of faith communities, the notion of engaging with art or cultural activity, they might like to think they could do it, but in reality, they've got other priorities. What would you say to them to explain why it's worth engaging with an artist who explores issues of faith?
I think artists have a particular ability to wobble their certainty a little bit, and that is not to say make them doubt stuff, but they can make them think.
Well, I always feel that contemporary artists actually have a lot to say both to society and to the church. I think in some ways they're the prophets of our modern age because they reflect society back to itself. They have it makes us look at ourselves in ways that we perhaps either don't want to or haven't thought of.
Use it again at the calm.